Hey, my name is Will Rich, and in this video, I'm going to be going over 15 habits that made me wealthy even when I was broke. Most people think that wealth comes down to luck, and it's really about habits. So in this video, I'll share the 15 exact principles that shifted me from broke and confused to building income, assets, and peace of mind. Some are mindset, some are money, but all of them have changed my life. So it's allowed me to grow and scale AI companies, sell them, work in investing, and consult for some big players in the investing world. Now, saving 10% no matter what is number one. Every major civilization from Babylon to Egypt to early America built by saving 10% first. In any economy, especially right now, it can be one of the best times to invest for the future. I remember stuffing dollars into jars, even when I had basically nothing. And wealth doesn't start with millions, it starts with the discipline when the amounts are small. How do you expect to be able to make money in the future and hold on to it if you can't keep it when the amounts are small? Number two is that you'll be paid in direct proportion to the value that you provide. I remember when I wasn't making any money, and I almost always would ask myself, rather than saying, I'm not making enough money, how do I make more money? I would say, how do I provide more value? I wasn't solving real problems. And the moment that I focused on service instead of the struggle, money followed. Number three is attitude shapes your altitude. I used to have a really bad attitude as a kid. One thing that my dad used to say was, quit the tude, dude. And wealth doesn't flow to negativity. It flows to people that uplift, that take ownership, that move with purpose. And having a good attitude is the bedrock and foundation for any well-built business. Number four is expecting the best and appreciating everything. You might have heard from Marcus Aurelius. He says, expect nothing, appreciate everything. I flipped it a little bit and I expect the best outcomes, but I appreciate all outcomes. Even the failures are feedback, and that's wealth thinking. When it comes down to failing, one of the best ways to learn and to grow is to really look at those failures and build upon them. Now, number five is creating a money system. I used to stuff jars with spare cash. I used to work at a Christmas tree farm when I was little. I remember my wife used to go sing in the streets, and we'd be taking money and putting them into little jars. And we have these jars, and each jar would represent different areas of our life. So we would focus on saving, we'd focus on a financial freedom account, we would focus on an investing account, we'd focus on a tax account, and also a giving account and an education account, and even an account for play that we could use specifically for having fun. And when we did this, we started to notice that we were paying attention to our money. In fact, every time that we would get $1, it would be split between all these accounts. And the best part is that we'd make sure that it would allow us enough to pay our expenses. It would allow us to then still have fun. And when we spent money on ourselves for things in that play account, we felt good about it. We didn't feel like, oh, I'm spending money and I don't know where it's all going. We could spend it freely and in an abundant mindset because we knew that it was coming from the account that it was supposed to come from, and that we had pre-planned that. So nowadays, we actually use automation with a bank called Relay, where every time we get any money at all, it goes into this one account, and then AI splits it into multiple accounts and makes it go into the right account that it should be in. So it's completely automated all of our investing and all of our saving and putting money into the right place. As we do adjust it with our income as it changes, but the percentages and having those different accounts for specific things stays the same, and it takes a lot of stress out of our spending and how we use our money. So again, it started with jars and saving cash, but it's now evolved into having accounts for saving, giving, and fun, and that control gives you clarity. Number six is knowing that it will all work out. Almost all wealthy people carry a deep certainty. It's not this blind hope, it's a calm confidence. And you never attract what you don't believe is already yours. Most people that are wealthy, they have this confidence, they have this relaxedness about them. And they are saying, we know that everything's going to work out. As long as we do what it is that we know we can do to get the results and act as if we already have those results. Wealthy people, they don't stress as much as people that are struggling. In fact, the more people struggle, the harder it becomes to manage their money and grow their money. And the less you struggle and the more you realize it's going to be okay, and you just look at it as something that you enjoy and that you don't have a lot of stress around, you move fluidly and you make better decisions around your finances and your business, and ultimately you grow more. Number 7 is becoming best friends with time. A lot of wealthy people have this habit that they are friends with time, and wealth flows to those who partner with time and don't fight it. People that are consistent and let the process compound. Many times I'm looking at the clock and I'm looking at how much time I have to complete certain tasks. I have a positive relationship with time because I know that over time, with the different habits that you stack, the different things you do that we're going over in this video, you do them consistently, that over time, 2 years, maybe you don't see a big difference, but 5 years from now, you see a huge difference. Then 10 years from now, your life is completely different. And really, just in a short amount of time, by having habits, they go in the direction that you're going in a consistent basis. And the time, oftentimes when I'm having a tough time in life or I'm struggling for something, I look at my life and I look back a little bit and I'd say, where did I have a bad attitude? Or what did I do in the past that I was trying to fight time, I wasn't being patient, and I did something that put me in the situation that is making things difficult now? Because almost always I could look back a few months and say, oh yeah, there was a few months ago where I had this scarcity mindset around money and I made some decisions that were not good. Or I had this scarcity mindset around time and I wanted to get money really quickly and I wasn't patient and I tried to do something that was really risky, and that's why it didn't play out. So you need to look at the decisions you're making and ask yourself, is this something that I would be happy with 2 weeks from now? Whether it's spending money, whether it's investing money, whether it's using your time wisely rather than scrolling or doing things that aren't going to put you towards your goals. Number 8 is understanding compound interest. The wealthy all understand this, and Einstein called it the 8th wonder of the world. And not just financially, compounding efforts in that you learn how to work, compounding learning, that you learn how to learn and that you do it consistently, compounding relationships. All of these things can pay off in exceptional waves throughout time as they continue to get a little bit better each and every day. One thing that happens, which could be good and also a little bit crazy, is you might be doing something on a consistent basis. And by doing it on a consistent basis, you might feel uncomfortable because the people around you aren't doing that. Whether it's you spending some extra time on your business or some of your goals and doing that rather than watching TV or going out to the bar on the weekends while your friends are doing that. And you take the time to do this and it's uncomfortable, and a lot of times there won't be immediate results. And that's something that over time, after maybe a few weeks, months, years, the results start to show up and then you become unrecognizable. You're in a completely different place than those that had the habits and that were different. And so little habits that go against the grain and that might be what 99% of people don't do actually can put you into the top 1% of the wealthy people. Number 9 is the habit of having a sales with a service mindset. You see, sales is something that people have when they're successful. They know how to sell themselves. They know how to sell their family on different decisions they make. They know how to sell their boss on the promotion, or they know how to sell their customer on the transformation or the service that they're offering. So when you are looking at the sales side of things, almost always the success that someone has financially will be correlated to the degree at which they're able to sell and their capacity to sell. And that's a skill that most wealthy people have, and most wealthy people have developed throughout their careers, through little things, through learning and reading books, as well as learning what creates value in a marketplace. Some people don't realize this, but the word sell comes from the Latin word servere, which means to serve. And oftentimes the people that are selling the most are serving the most people. There's this quote by Zig Ziglar that says, if you want to get anything in life that you want, you just have to help enough other people get what they want. So that's a good one to keep in mind. Number 10 is writing down your goals. Every single thing I've written down with a passion and clarity has found its way into my life. And if your goals aren't on paper, then they're just wishes. There was a time this past year where I was writing down my goals on a consistent basis. And almost every month I would go to my mentors or my friends or my wife and I'd say, take a look at this. I wrote this down last month and it happened this month. And the next month, take a look. I wrote this goal down and it happened this month. Isn't that crazy? Or year over year. You know, I read in a book a few years ago called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy that says if you are to attract the type of people in your life that you want or the type of circumstances that you're looking for, you're to get very clear about those circumstances for which you desire. So one thing that I used to do is I would write down different instances and different things that I'd want in my life. I used to say, I want to be able to travel the world. Right now, I'm traveling the world while I'm filming videos. And I used to say, I want to have a company that provides a lot of value to people and helps them to be able to make more money. And that's what I've been doing. And also, when it comes to my wife, before I met my wife, I read in the book that Darren Hardy wrote down every single little detail about his wife before he met her. And I actually did that months before I met my wife. I wrote down every single detail, what she looked like, how she acted, her attitude, her desire to want to travel, her desire, her love of family, her love of work, her passions. And guess what? I literally manifested her into my life. And she came, not just that I went to a place and met her, but that she came all the way from Argentina through a friend that I was meeting. And we met in California. And she just was going to be there for a week or 2 weeks. And she ended up getting trapped because of COVID. She couldn't fly back to her home country of Argentina. And we met, and she was everything that I wrote down, from passion for music, passion for business, the hustle mindset. She comes from the different economic standard of Argentina. So she was very driven. She is very driven to achieve goals and make things happen. And just happens that everything that I wrote down literally manifested. So you have to write down things with detail. You wouldn't have it as a goal in mind if you didn't deep down believe that it was possible for you. So anything that you write down as a goal is possible. You just have to write it down, reference it consistently. I like to reference my goals 1 to 2 times per day and consistently work towards that goal. And you just might be surprised at how quickly those things start to show up in your life. Number 11 is the habit of knowing that where attention goes, energy flows and results show. Whatever you focus on grows. If you focus on opportunity, it multiplies. If you focus on lack, it expands. Wealth starts with where you put your eyes. So you might be thinking, well, I don't know. Sometimes I think about this lack or not being able to pay for this, or I think about, am I doing the right thing with my money? Or am I going to be able to pay this thing up here? Or what about taxes with my business? And you're stressing about it, something like that. But here's the deal. When you're thinking about something, it's like a garden in your mind. And you have a garden in your mind and you can choose which tree to plant. Do you want to plant a tree of poison or negativity, of self-doubt? Or do you want to plant a tree that is a positive expectancy and a positive outcome oriented mindset of appreciation and gratitude, rather than lack, a doubt, and a complaining or blame? So when you plant the tree of positive expectation, of appreciative looks, and a outcome expectation that's going to be favorable for you, you're inevitably going to do the things that would work towards that. You're going down a mountain and you're skiing. Did you know that if you focus on a tree and you're like, I don't want to hit the tree, I don't want to hit the tree, oftentimes it's been proven you'll hit the tree more than if you just focus on the clear path of where there's snow and there are no trees. So by focusing on the thing that you want to miss, you end up attracting it. And so that's why it's important to really work on planting in your garden, your mind, the positive outcomes that you'd like to attract. Number 12 is to be persistently patient and faithful. And by faithful, I mean you might have seasons of drought, you might have those summers, but you have to have the faith to keep moving, the patience to keep grounded. And together, you put those things together, and that's what builds an empire. You see, by having the persistence and the patience to continue going even when times are tough, that puts you in a position where you are exactly where, if it's hard, there is a good thing to think about is that when something's hard, that is usually when people quit. If something's becoming hard, that's usually when most people would give up. And by doing the thing that's hard and being like, oh, great, found something that's hard, this is where most people give up. And if I do this thing, this will put me that much further ahead in achieving this goal. And doing something that most people, this is where they fall off. So this puts me at advantage. And so by embracing hard, and when you find it being persistent and saying, oh, it's hard, great. This means that most people wouldn't be willing to do this. And it puts me at an above average value by doing it. Number 13 is to think abundance, not scarcity. Broke minds, they compete. Wealthy minds, they create. Instead of asking, oh, what if I fail? Ask, what would happen if I succeed? Think like a producer, not just a consumer. There is this world where everybody thinks they need to compete and copy, and they're worried about others doing the same things that they are doing. But at the end of the day, all you have to do is create. Everything that's built right now, the AI, all the ChatGPT, all of this data that comes in, and we say, oh, wow, AI is so smart and what have you. Did you know that it's all coming from the human mind and what we've come up in the past? It's just a synopsis, a filtration of all that data so that you can query it and get that information. But it's because of the human mind that has created those ideas, and your mind is just as powerful. It's the number one most powerful thing that you have. It's the thing that separates you from all other beings on earth. So your ability to come up with ideas is the gold mine that you have between your ears. Number 14 is learning as a reader, learning from mentors, and learning from coaches. Every level that I've reached came after learning from someone else, whether it was books, mentors, coaches, and they compress literally decades into days or even minutes. It's amazing that you could take 20 years worth of knowledge and fit it on a chapter in a book and get all of those lessons that took someone else years and years to learn, and you can get it all in a page. The important thing to realize is to actually do something with that. A lot of people say knowledge is power, but knowledge is only potential power. And your ability to put that into action and use that knowledge for something that will benefit you and the people around you is the difference between being someone that sees it pass and someone that takes advantage of the opportunity to become wealthy. Number 15, treat your health like it's a non-negotiable. Every wealthy person that I've met is pretty methodical about their health. They realize that energy is the ultimate currency, and you treat your body like a temple and not anything other than realizing your input is your output. It's trash that you put in your body if you're having fast food, but by having things that will give you more energy, you put yourself in a position to succeed. And every successful person that I've known has either not had sugar, or they've gone on fast from all the things that they are allergic to, or they've learned how to treat their body in a way that gives them energy rather than takes away their energy. And most wealthy people know how to manage their energy. They don't always optimize for this rigorous routine of this, but they think about, where am I having the most energy for this thing so that they can accomplish it. And a lot of times it comes down to their health. Are they going to the gym, getting cardio? Are they lifting? Or are they taking care of their mental health and making sure that their mindset is in a place that puts them on a track to succeed? If any of these habits hit home for you, go ahead and start them today. I want to ask you guys to commit to them. Try to master these 15 and just pick one for a week. If you want more strategies like this to grow your wealth, make sure to subscribe and do consider hitting the like button if I earned it. I'm going to share with you guys all my real experiences. Hopefully it's been valuable for you. Appreciate you all. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.